Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku, and with the current events of Steven Universe, I feel as though the relationship between Lapis Lazuli and Peridot has never been in more jeopardy than it is right now. With the episodes Back to the Kindergarten and Can't Go Back, we've been able to see how both parties deal with their separation and have also been provided with a general idea of what to expect of them for the foreseeable future. And although both Peridot and Lapis miss one another, they have also both in a sense reverted to their pre-Barn Syndrome selves. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, Barn Syndrome is a term we've coined over here that refers to a state of irrelevancy that otherwise interesting characters subjected to the barn suffer from. And before dwelling in the barn, Peridot was very much included in almost all Crystal Gem happenings, serving as a true member of the team and even recognizing herself as such. Lapis, on the other hand, turned more so towards seclusion, foregoing everything else in favor of clutching on to what she perceived to be safety. And that's exactly where we are with them once again. And in the episode Can't Go Back, I love the self-assessment provided by Lapis because, as it is so commonly stated, admitting you have a problem is the first step to recovery, and as frustrating as it may have been for a lot of us to see her have a seemingly illogical panic attack at the very end of the episode, running away yet again, I for one am kind of fond of this pacing. What we're getting here is gradual development, actual development, a focus zeroed in on the character, which in theory, if this is how our interactions with her tend to be going forwards, could very well address the overarching issue I've had with how she's been handled up until this point. But with that being said, I feel as though the distance between her and Peridot will only grow larger the longer it takes for them to reconvene. And as we're able to see with the holographic presentation of the crystal gems provided by Lapis, Peridot may be seen training with the gems. When Lapis leaves, she has no one to go to, but Peridot has a family to return to, the crystal gems. And you know, although we've all been waiting for Peridot to receive her star for what seems like ages now, the fact of the matter is, she wasn't about to get it by being docile under Barn Syndrome. That's the sort of development that I'd only expect to happen when Peridot is actively participating in crystal gem affairs, something that almost entirely ceased once she grouped up with Lapis. For me, it would be really interesting to see how Lapis would handle the thought of Peridot moving on, and as far as I'm concerned, the presence of a star on her physical form would be the clearest indicator possible of how she's changed. It'd be like seeing a loved one for the first time in years. Of course, gems don't show any signs of aging or gradual growth, so this would be their equivalent. Now, do I think Peridot would be totally over Lapis to the point of deciding not to associate at all? Certainly not, but I wonder how Lapis would conduct herself under that assumption. And depending on how long it takes, how would she interject herself into Peridot's life once again amongst various other possible changes? Also, the upcoming separation of Ruby and Sapphire looks to be rather similar to that of Lapis and Peridot, so maybe by being with the gems during this troubling time, Peridot will be able to come to a sort of realization about her own situation that she hadn't before, which has me really excited. And I'm also really wondering how you guys may be feeling about all this, because as sad as it was for Lapis to take off with the barn, I already told you, that barn is nothing but trouble, and now we may be on the verge of the most important developments this relationship has ever seen. So at this point, I'm happy it happened. Also, when do you think the next time we'll see Lapis will be? Do you expect her to miraculously wind up with the off colors while exploring the vastness of space, or something else? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching, and have an awesome day. I love you.